Hey, this is Taryn,
This is Isaac.
and we are
True Masters and Morons.
playing Doom
Doom
Eternal,
Eternal.
Ancient Gods,
DLC Part 1.
DLC Part 1. Last time, we fought our way through the rest of that, talked about crazy things involving the weight of trees, and this time we are hopefully, maybe, how big is this? Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
No, definitely not gonna get there by the time that, not with that fight in the way, but
We're going to
try
get to the end, whether or not we
plant
beat the boss.
Yes. We're going to try to plant that soul orb.
So, in between videos, Taryn and I continued on the subject from last time. And I found a log weight.
The crazy
the crazy weight of stuff.
Have.
And I found a log weight calculator that you can, like, pick whatever. And yeah, so a live oak, which is apparently a species of oak. By the way,
we were thinking last time there was just an oak that was, alive, that had water weight and all that jazz.
Yeah, no. Also, note that for this one, the assumed moisture content of the logs is 75%.
For those of you who really know your stuff.
For those of you who really know your stuff. Presumably that means it's been drying for a bit, though, because otherwise it'd be like 100%, right?
I mean, 75% is still...
That is really wet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Carry on.
So for live oak, which is the weight I was looking at before, a 36 diameter by 36 diameter by 40-foot long would be 24,736 pounds. That is
Good Lord.
how insanely heavy that is. Now, if it was a live oak that was like 2 inches at the top, and 36 inches at the bottom, so like, the way trees actually grow.
It tapers,
Yeah, like the way that trees actually grow. Then it's the so much more reasonable weight of 12,385 pounds.
So much more reasonable, right? I mean, come on.
It's half the weight. So Taryn and I just continued to talk about weight of things and just realizing, because we've talked about this before between the two of us, that
multiple times
that stuff weighs so much.
This just reality is so much physically heavier than I think most of us give it credit for. And it is sometimes astonishing to be like, oh yeah, no, really, this is just so much. I think I'm not going to say my first, but one of the ones I remember that I come back to that was one of my first big realizations of just like, wow, no, really, things weigh a ton. Was, D&D again. Way back when we started this campaign that I'm running that is almost done 5 years ago. Oh, hi. Way back when that started, one of the first fun pieces of treasure I gave them that was pure just loot. What? Oh, Buff Totem. No, I don't want you.
No.
Where are you, Buff Totem? Was this essentially silver plate.
It was a giant silver platter with etchings in it, right?
Well, yes and no. That effectively yes, technically no. So what it was they had found in this old abandoned dwarven settlement. There we are. Wow, I was right next to it frickin' when it started, man. Get out of my way!
That is the second time that you have had one of those just appear next to you, and then you go around like the entire map and come back to it.
No, let me go. No, Taryn, you did it to yourself. Look at that. 1 extra second. 1 extra second, I would have had it. But it was this dwarven settlement, and oh, you know what? Sure.
BFG. Nope.
I'm not sure that was the most efficient, but it worked. And one of the landmarks in there was this little river, was a little waterfall leading to this underground cavern, and they had a bridge over it. And in one of the homes, they found a family portrait. And I'm like, well, they're dwarves, though. So I wanted it to be a family portrait made of, like, something more
Substantial.
physically substantive than words.
Paint and paper.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, I mean, you think of dwarves, you think of, like, big major craftsmen and, all this sort of jazz. So I wanted it to be made out of metal or stone or something. And I decided, we'll make it a piece of loot for him, make it a precious metal. So I made it, wow, yeah, no, that being slowed down thing really sucks. All right! I get it!
Fine, okay.
I'm not concentrating hard enough. I understand. Just die.
I want you to tell the story, but I totally get it, dude.
Get out of my way! These things were standing just close enough. Yeah, you like being stunned? I'll bet you do.
Yeah.
Note to self, the next time he's high up in the air, just shoot that and then shoot him in the face.
Yeah. So you decided you would make it a silver precious piece of loot.
Yeah, I wanted to be like, I wanted it to be a silver carved portrait.
Right.
Is this the way it came from? It is.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was, this beautifully rendered, essentially silver plate that was a family portrait of this dwarven family on the bridge. And I'm like, I was just thinking like normal, what's the word for the wide when it comes to a portrait? Landscape style.
Portrait.
Wide family portrait of like, the extended family of a bunch of dwarves, like 12, 15 people, something. Okay.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, what are the dimensions of like a normal big fat photo like that / painting? And I'm not going to go in there, but I do want to know how. Huh. And so I'm like, all right, it'll be like, 2.5, 3 feet wide or something like that. So decent length, but only like 3 inches thick.
Yeah, but only 3 inches thick.
Shut up. Like I said, these was original thoughts.
I mean, like, this is literally the explanation for why this conversation is happening.
Yeah, exactly. So then I found a material calculator, and I'm like, all right, if you make a block like that, how much would it weigh? And the thing weighed like 300 pounds?
Yeah. So, like, it's this big...
Why can I not go up?
Here, go outside. See if something opened.
It has to have.
Yeah. So, like, we as a party are sitting here, and we're like...
Well, so what I ended up doing was I'm like, all right, I decided that it was going to be, like, really deeply engraved. So, like, the outer edges, the frame, if you will.
Oh, wow, that... Okay. We'll just make this the biggest jump... We'll just make this the biggest jump pad you've ever had. Okay.
I know, oh, right. These fall.
So, and then you ended up having it weigh...
So basically, I cut the weight in half. So it's like 150 pounds.
Right.
And the idea was that it was, at its widest, so the frame type area. I should have looked for where I need to go.
Just go straight back, dude.
Yeah. I see that. So the frame would be like 3 inches thick, and then most of the rest of it
stuck like that. That's pretty fantastic.
The frame would be like 3 inches thick, and most of the rest of the thing. Really?
2 boosts, dude.
No, I was too low. It was a thing.
Double jump and then 2 boosts.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go.
So that most of it is 1 inch thick, and I did the weight calculation on that, and fudged a little bit for it being thicker, in some places, and I made it like 150 pounds, something like that. So it's still super weighty, but
it's not going to encumber whoever's holding it.
Right, and it's something they could reasonably walk away with and sell off. Because that was the idea. It's like, even if, because, silver has a weight to it, so you can figure that, and how much it's worth based on that alone, even if you don't find someone who was interested in the art of it, But yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, it weighs so much, and we'll talk about more of this in just a second.
Oh, you bitch.
So wait, is there a reason that I did this?
Fuck that guy.
Translation from the Lamentations of the Seraphs. The Seraphs remember that when the Dark Lord's lifeless body tumbled down the Pyramid of the Lost, Samur begged the Father to crush the Dark Lord's life sphere. Samur saw that they could destroy the Dark Lord's very essence so that he would brood no more against the Father. The Father refused. The Dark Lord was his creation. It was better to leave hell contained, with the Dark Lord reduced to whispers. If it came to pass that the Dark Lord were ever reincarnated in physical form, only another primeval, or something more powerful, could slay him. Once vanquished in this manner, the Dark Lord could no longer rule hell. Stripped of a primeval's bindings to the realm it was forged in, it would be scattered across the stars. Any denizens of hell not inside the realm's borders would die, as they lost their connection to the very reality the Father designed them for.
Okay,
Oh, so that is
the Dark Lord, dude.
Davoth.
So, literally, you kill him in this way that disperses him entirely, and any demon that steps foot outside of hell is instantly eradicated.
For all time.
For all time. It's a permanent solution.
Yeah? It kind of sounds, I mean, it's more permanent than just killing him would have been, it's true.
Yeah.
It doesn't explain why he decided he needed to break the other one. He could do both.
No. He could have done both, but
that is a very Doomslayer thing to do. It's like, no, we're doing it hardcore, one answer or the other, never both. No.
I mean, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, no compromise, just raw. But in that, there were a whole bunch of materials along with silver. So I discovered how my stuff, like we just said, stuff weighs so much. Like, silver's really heavy. For those of you curious, pound for pound. Silver, I don't remember the numbers anymore, but just to give it, it's like somewhere between 1.5 to 2 times as weighs 1.5 to 2 times as much as like iron, which I mean most of us have held a decent chunk of iron in our lives in some time or other, where it's just a bar. That's a face.
That is a face. That is not an assumption I would make. You and I do not run in normal circles when it comes to the obtaining
whether it's like
iron.
a bar or just a wrench or a screwdriver or...
I guess that's true. Wrench, screwdriver.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, but I got distracted by the face. Pry
What's
bar.
the normal person word for pry bar?
Crowbar.
Crowbar. Thank you.
I was having the same thought. I'm like, that's not a normal way to say that. We know exactly what we're talking about. But why? Why can I not find this?
Go get the pry bar.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
It's a long piece of iron.
With a hooky thing at the end.
With a hooky thing at the end.
Oh, I did press the button.
No, you pushed the button. Here, go back into the other... Oh, you didn't push the button in the other room, though. Go back across the bridge.
Oh, I think I know what I have to do. But
No. Just go back across the bridge.
We're going to take the simple answer first.
It's overgrown. We ignored it. We're dumb.
Oh, I didn't press the button.
Yeah.
I specifically grabbed that first, so that I thought I pressed the button on the way out, and I guess I didn't.
You are here to restore order to my world. With the demons...
I mean, kinda.
You understand the threat they pose to all my creations.
He doesn't seem to know you have the Dark Lord sphere.
So stop talking about it.
Right? It's like, how about you stop giving him the opportunity to potentially hear it, dude?
Right? It's like, surely he can hear transmissions, you know? Oh,
right.
That's unpleasant.
All that makes me think of, since we're on the topic of D&D, all that makes me think of is just the rest of the party trying to stop you from telling Strahd.
Oh yeah, so I don't know if we mentioned this, but we're playing a Ravenloft
we have
campaign.
in this Let's Play series even.
For those who don't know, Strahd is basically D&D Dracula. And yeah, shenanigans.
Yeah, and there was just that so due to events beyond our control, apparently, we got invited to Strahd's home because he insisted, and so while there, like, we started talking about something, and Taryn starts talking about something, and like the rest of us are making it very clear that we're trying to interrupt him and interject and stop him from talking. And
I'm playing I'm playing a relatively low intelligence, high wisdom character, and so generally he gets it. But every once in a while, he'll just like, oh, this is something we shouldn't tell people. Why not? All right, sure. He doesn't. Okay. Let me rephrase that. because I'm not doing a very good job of playing that. The conceptual idea behind this character was basically I wanted to play a cleric who acts like Bolin from
Legend of Korra.
Legend of Korra. For those who don't know, he's a affable, lovable. He's not stupid, but he's the dumbest person in the group. You know.
Yeah.
That's one of
He's
like,
the dumbest person
he's
in a
not
group
dumb,
of very
he's just-
intelligent people.
What was that?
He's the dumbest person in a group of very intelligent.
Right. Yes. And
Sarah's shaking her head. As much as Korra can be stupid, she's not stupid. Oh no, not our party. No, our party's dumb. Sarah's over here like, why are you calling our party intelligent? That's a lie.
we do things.
We do things. My character dies to inanimate objects twice.
Well, that's just rolls.
It was so bad, dude.
It's just rolls.
Yeah, like, I don't want to be a major spoiler, but this is like in the big first thing that has been moved over.
It's not the first thing, and apparently, but it's a thing that a lot of people encounter quickly. The Death House. You'll know what it is.
If you've done anything with this, it's the Death House. There's a broom. It's a living broom.
This broom is famous on the internet, by the way, for this very reason.
Literally, we went into the room with the broom.
Oh, I don't like this.
I don't either. We went into the... Oh, that's why, because you can insta-kill those. That's awesome. You're just like, murder them all!
I've never been so okay with blowing super attacks in my life.
So yeah, like this broom is famous for this. I walked in, we roll for initiative, the broom goes first, and he one-rounds me.
He critically hit him twice, and we were level 2.
Yeah.
He literally, like, basically max damaged Isaac in the face twice.
And I've built my character, and I will say this, we finished the Death House. Nobody actually died, but I got close like 5 times. And I built this character to be the tank. He is meant to stand in front, pull everyone so that they attack him. If they don't attack him, then they do less damage to everyone else, or they can't leave a certain range. And he has the highest AC in the party, and
had the second most hit points, I should point out.
And now has the most hit points.
Yeah, at the time had the second most.
And I kept dropping because our DM kept rolling like a god the entire
Only
Death
on him
House.
too was the best part.
Yeah,
He actually rolled really high on attacks that whole night. It was a good night for him. But like, man, whenever he did damage on Isaac, it was just like would not stop.
Yeah, it was like, hey, I attack Sarah's character because one person got close enough to do it. Oh, she has an AC of 14. Oh man, it misses. Oh, you have an AC of 20? I have missed you once, and you've been attacked 30 times tonight.
Yeah, or it'd be like, oh, you got an AC of 14. I hit you, but oh, look at that, 2 points of damage.
Yeah. Such bullshit.
A little bit funny though.
It was a little bit funny. That house robbed me, no joke, like 5 times the entire time.
Oh my gosh, that house was nutballs.
And I will say it was a modified house. Technically, like, you're not supposed to be able to take long rests or short rests without bad things happening.
Oh, you're not supposed to be able to do it at all.
Yeah.
So here's what this is: level design for people listening. Theoretically, this house is designed for a level 1 party. I don't know what size level 1 party they're talking about. Well, if it's not
the
16
average party
people,
is 4.
That's garbage.
Yeah, the average party is 4. So if it's saying it's designed for level 1, it means designed for a party of 4 that are all level 1.
Except that everything in this place has, and by the way, these numbers at level 1 in 5e are high. Everything has at least 2 attacks. Most of the things you fight come in groups of 3 to 4. The ones that don't have worse things.
Yeah, the ones that don't need to.
Yeah. Have somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 plus hit points. Most of them have decent ACs. And by the write-up, you're not supposed to be able to rest in here at all. So you basically have to do it all in one big go. There is no first level party in the world that can handle this place.
No.
Not unless everyone rolls nothing but 20s all night except for the DM. Like, that's literally the only way. Honestly, looking at it after having gone through it, and keep in mind, I'm not super familiar with 5th edition.
Realistically, this is his first campaign in 5th edition.
It's like, I've played a few one-shots before in 5th edition, but mostly it's been this game. I do have extensive experience playing other RPGs and other versions of D&D, though.
Yeah.
That being said, with my understanding of the mechanics, how things work, how things have gone for our parties, just looking at raw numbers, I would honestly say to be run the way it's, quote, supposed to be run, as in nobody can sleep, you use all the nastiest abilities, as opposed to, like, there were a couple of fights that our DM used flavor that works for the creatures.
Taryn, as much as I want you to do that, we need to get the codex, go do the other side.
The codex is in this side.
Yeah, so my guess is you have to beat both sides to unlock it.
What are you talking? I came through there.
Uh-huh. So now go to the opposite side.
You
over
want me
there?
Oh. Okay. Well, no, because there's nothing there. I was looking, I'm like, there's gotta be a thing in here that would open
Jump
it.
across to that door.
You want us to think it's just do this
One,
side.
you can punch that and see what it does. It gives you the jumpy. 2, I seriously think if you go in there
What jumpy
into the
did?
door
Wait, what?
behind you now, it
Oh, it
jumpy.
did do that. Okay.
Beat
You
the
think that
things
if
that
I-
are in here, it will unlock the door.
Okay. Ah,
Ooh, nice. I think that's either infinite ammo or haste. I don't
I
remember.
believe
which
it's. I believe it is haste.
one. But yeah, so you were continuing your.
It's haste. Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
Oh, and infinite ammo.
Oh, well, it's spray and pray, baby. Let's go. I would honestly say that I think a party to run that correctly, you'd have to be a party of roughly level 6, I think.
I might be willing to give it to a 4 or 5 of very experienced players who know what they're going into.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you know the place, that always helps. But
I'm not saying like knows the layout and stuff, but like knows you're going in this, you can't sleep, you know, like knows all that stuff, so that you're not blowing anything early that you wouldn't under those circumstances. Otherwise, yeah, 5 or 6.
I think 5
Probably.
is. See, I think of 6 as being like it's doable, but it's rough and a challenge. I think 5, you're more likely to die, or if you get through it, you know, one or more of your group members have died, like
Yeah.
and or
Two-
you know, dropped or just straight up died.
To be fair, it is also a horror campaign. It's meant to. Rude. It's meant to, like, this house is meant to kill one person.
That's the thing.
really
It's not a well balanced thing at all.
No. All right, my bad.
Well, I'm gonna walk around to the other side now because it locked me out of that door, which leads me to believe that you might have been right, at least in concept.
Right.
Why are
Oh.
you being this way, door?
What about the other door? It's also locked.
Yeah, that's the one where I walked towards it and was like, no.
All right, whatever. I guess we're not getting that codex.
Oh, we are. It's just that means the way to unlock it is in this room.
Yeah. But yeah, it was insanity.
But yeah, no. So like, our DM was talking about us with us during and after. He's like, people say is like, you know, on paper this is designed to be CR level 1, and he and like the entire internet community that he has been checking on all this stuff with, because he's done a lot of research on how people run it and stuff. He's being very diligent.
Shoot it.
Is like, no, it's not.
Yeah. Basically, everyone agrees, don't do this, and figure out a way to give them like one rest of some kind.
Oh, it wasn't even. It's like he was talking about, the way it's written up. Oh, you can't rest. They're like, yeah, screw that.
Right.
Just give them penalties if they do or something.
Yeah, and that's what he did.
am
He
I?
did end up doing that, but we will have to go ahead and continue all this next time. All right, thank you all so much for joining us today. Go ahead and leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for more Let's Plays. Check out our other channel for gaming lore, link in the description. Thank you to all of our patrons so much for continuing to make this possible, and we will see you in the next episode. In the meantime, this has been Brewmasters and Morons. Signing off.
How do I get in this door? It's going to drive me nuts.
I don't fucking know, dude. I really don't.